Hi, welcome to another session of Paragyte video tutorial. As a part of our Microsoft Dynamics CRM training series, today we will learn how to create a simple approval process in Dynamics 365 without writing a single line of code. Yes, you heard it right. We will implement the approval process with zero code. Let's see what we will be going through today. First, we will understand about the approval process. Then we will take a real life scenario for which we will be implementing this approval process. Post that, we will see how to implement the approval process using only customization and configuration. Once we are done with the customization part, we will have a live demo of the entire process on a Dynamics 365 environment. Let's move ahead. The approval process we are going to implement is very simple and easy to implement. Though this is a simple approval process, you can implement your own approval process as per your organization's business requirements, even the complex ones. And the best part is, it does not require any code to be written. It is implemented just by some advanced level of customization and configuration. Let's take a look at the scenario for which we are going to implement this approval process. Here is a salesperson who has generated a sales quote. This sales quote requires an approval from the sales manager. Sales manager can either approve or reject the quote. Now let's see how we are going to implement this approval process. In order to achieve this approval process, we will be using some of these features. We will create some custom fields and we will implement field security profile on these fields. We'll customize one of the business process flow and implement some custom workflows in order to achieve this approval process. Let's see how it is implemented on Dynamics 365. This is a Dynamics 365 online organization where we will implement the approval process. I have logged in as a sales rep named Hannah. Let me explain how we are going to implement the approval process. Let's open an opportunity form. Here you can see the business process flow at the top. Let me give you a brief idea about the business process flow. This feature allows a user to help proceed with the next steps of any particular business process. So basically, there is no more guesswork for the user on how to proceed further with the business process. User can proceed to the next stage once all the necessary steps of the current stage are completed. Each of these represents a stage of a business process flow. Here you can see there are 4 stages. This flag here represents the current stage of the business process flow. You can see that currently it is showing as qualify stage of the current opportunity. Once the opportunity is saved, user can proceed to the next stage by clicking here at the next stage button. Now let me create an opportunity and show you the customization we have made. Let us create a test opportunity, and without filling any details, we'll just save the record. Now once the record is saved, we assume that all the necessary steps for qualify stage and develop stage are completed, and we will move to the next stage. So once I click on the next stage button, it will take me to the next stage of this opportunity, and at the same time it will save the existing record as well. Now here we are at the develop stage of this opportunity. Here also you can see some of the required steps in order to complete the develop stage. For this video tutorial purpose, we will assume that we have completed all the develop stage, and we will move to the next stage by clicking this button. So now as you can see, the flag has moved to the quote stage. So now we are at the quote stage of the opportunity. Here are the required steps in order to complete the quote stage. These are some of the custom fields which are added as a part of this approval process. Let us log in as another user who has an access to this customization section. We will see what these fields are, and before that we will see how we have customized this business process flow. Here I have logged in as a different user named Ron who has an access to the customization section. Let's move to the setting and customization. Okay, we will proceed to the solution which we have specifically created for this approval process. So it will be simple for us to identify the custom steps or all the customizations which have been performed. We will open the approval process solution and we will go through the business process flow, which is an opportunity sales process which we have customized in order to implement our approval process. As you can see that this is our quote stage which we have customized, and as you can see we have added these 3 steps and we have marked it as a required step so that user cannot proceed to the next stage unless all the steps of quote stage is completed. Now let us see which are these fields, the custom fields which we have added to our opportunity in order to achieve this approval process. The first and the most important custom field is the approval phase. Approval phase is an option set or a pick list which contains the values like approval pending, approved and rejected. Another field is approved by of type lookup, which will contain the user ID who has approved the quote. There is one more custom field called request approval. As you can see here, this is a 2 option type of field which has the value yes or no. This will be a trigger point for a salesperson to demand or ask for an approval. And there is one more custom field called quote created. I will talk about this field in detail when we go ahead with our end-to-end process starting from the salesperson asking for quote approval. Let's go back to the salesperson Hannah, who has just now created a test opportunity, and as you can see these three fields. The first one is approval phase, which is a drop down, then a quote created and request for approval. Now as you can see that we have made all these three steps as required in order for salesperson to proceed to the next stage. Now one of the main part of this approval process is the field level security, which we have implemented for approval phase and quote created fields. You can see a lock symbol along with these two fields, which indicates that the salesperson cannot update or edit these fields. Let us go back to the solution and see what we have done with the field level security. If we go to the field security profile section of our solution, you can see there are two field security profile is created. One for the opportunity approver, which has the read update right on the custom fields, while another one is a read only profile for the salesperson. Let's open one of the profile. Okay, this is a profile in which I have specified the salesperson, which is Hannah, and provided the field permission, let's say for the approval phase custom field. As you can see that it has only read access. Now if we go and check the profile of approver, in which the sales manager Ron has been set as a user, and the field permission for the custom fields are set as read as well as update. So this is the part which contains the field level security. Now let's proceed with our end-to-end approval process. Now here the opportunity has been created and the salesperson Hannah is on the quote stage. Now in order to request for approval, first of all will require a quote. As you can see that we cannot change this field. Now this field will be automatically set when a new quote is created. Now let us create a new quote which is associated with this opportunity. Now before we proceed with this approval process, let me just explain you about this approval process. The approval process which we have implemented here is a very simple approval process which just requires an approval for a quote created by a salesperson. Now depending on your business requirement, you may have any complex process for approval. The approval process which I am going to show here, it is just for the demo purpose or the training purpose. It is a sample process as per our business requirement. Now let us create a quote. Now as you can see the new quote form, we will have to first select a price list. Post that we will just add one of the products Let's create just a write-in product for this approval and set the unit price as, let's say, 1000. Okay, and the quantity is set to 1, so our total amount comes to 1000. Let's provide a discount of 200 rupees, and we will need to set our potential customer. Now you can see that the moment discount of 200 rupees is provided, the total amount is reflected as 800. Now let us save this quote, okay, and go back to our opportunity. As you can see, the quote created field has been automatically populated as yes. Now we have achieved this using one of the custom workflows. I'll just quickly explain to you which workflow we are talking about. We'll go to the process section, and as you can see that opportunity update on quote creation. Now this workflow, let us see what it does. As you can see, it just update that quote is created. Whenever a new quote is created, it will update the related or associated opportunity, and it will set the quote created field as yes. Now let's go back to our approval process. Now you can see that the quote is created and it is ready for approval. So now the salesperson will trigger the approval process by clicking on this request approval field. Now you can see that another step of this quote stage is completed. Let's save this opportunity. As you can see, the moment we saved this opportunity, the approval phase status has been automatically changed to approval pending. Now this has also been achieved by using one of the custom workflows. Now before going to that custom workflow, let me explain what other action this workflow has performed. It has not only set this field as approval pending, but it has also created a follow-up task for the sales manager. So in this case, the user named Ron should receive a new task in the system. Now let's log in as a Ron and check whether a new task has been created or not. So we'll move to the sales section and check the activities for that user. You can see the activity section under mic work. Oops. You can see a new task has automatically created by the workflow for the sales manager Ron regarding approval request for the opportunity which was created by the salesperson. Now let's go back to our custom workflow and see how this has been implemented. As you can see that this has been achieved through opportunity approval request workflow. Now what does this workflow perform? Whenever an opportunity record is updated by salesperson, this workflow checks if the request for approval is yes. That means a salesperson has demanded an approval for the quote and the process stage name equals to quote. At the same time, the opportunity approval phase does not contain any data or it is rejected. Now, I'll explain to you about the rejected bit, that either it is a first time approval or it can be a next level approval where a quote has already been rejected and the salesperson is requesting approval for the second time after modifying the quote as per the sales manager comments. So in both the cases, what would happen is that a task is created for the manager to approve, and at the same time the approval phase is set to pending. Now here, just to make a process very simple, I have created a task for the manager. Instead of creating a task, you may choose to perform any other action like sending an email or creating a follow-up task. Now let's go back to our approver and complete the approval process. So as you can see that this task says that approval request for test opportunity which was created by our salesperson. Not only that, but it also provides you the link to that opportunity. Now before moving to this opportunity, we'll just mark this task as complete so that it is removed from my task section. And one more thing, the same task you can just see through a different view of your completed task from my activities task and selecting an appropriate, as you can see, all tasks, which will display your completed task as well. Now we'll go to this opportunity. The user can directly go to that opportunity from the link provided in the task. Now you can see that since now currently I am logged in with the sales manager Ron, so that I have an access to change these options here. So let's say that this sales manager is happy with your quote and is okay to approve this quote. So you can simply just go and select as approve. Now the quote is approved, and the moment quote is approved, similarly a task will be created for the salesperson notifying him that the quote has been approved by your sales manager and you are okay to proceed with the next stage of the opportunity. Or similarly, sales manager may choose to reject the quote, and if sales manager choose to reject the quote, it can provide comments, maybe whatever the decision taken by sales manager regarding discount or the price or anything can be provided here. Or in this case, sales manager has simply approved this quote. Now let's log in as our salesperson and see if this opportunity is, this quote is approved or not. Let us open this opportunity. And you can see that now this opportunity has been approved by the sales manager, and our salesperson Hannah can proceed with the next stage. Yes, now the salesperson is able to proceed to the next stage. Oh yes, there is one thing which we missed here, is to show you that automatic task which was created by our workflow to notify our salesperson that this opportunity has been approved. Let's go to the activity section of the salesperson. Here you can see that our automatic workflow, our custom workflow has created a task for a salesperson notifying that your opportunity is approved and you can proceed with the next stage along with the link to the opportunity. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that this was just a sample approval process. So instead of setting up a task, you can even send a mail. Instead of just approving the code, you can have your custom complex business process requirement, which can be anything other than approval of a code. So with this, our entire process of code creation from salesperson, then approval from sales manager is entirely complete. I hope this tutorial was useful for you in order to understand the approval process for code creation. Thank you for watching this video.